of Donald Trump prioritizing white South Africans coming over to the United States.
I mean, what I'm about to say is seen as educational content and not an attack against anybody I'm about to stitch your comment on. Brother, what have I been saying for 5 years? That we need to stand up, look at what is important to the diaspora and change the systems accordingly, because if we don't, they will. And let's take this outside the goldfish bowl you call the US. Said incumbent is traveling around the world and trying to influence the same thing. In UK, in Germany are two prime examples where he's ramming up the supremacy movement. France will be involved as well. Sweden, Norway. He will then go to places like Australia, New Zealand. What have I been saying on here for 5 years? Think back. And you are more or less reiterating what I've been saying and been warning about. That supremacy will be spread throughout the world if that man became Press 47. And he weren't stopped. Now suddenly everybody's starting to realise. Now everybody's starting to listen and starting to reiterate the same thing. Suddenly my words are becoming sensical instead of being pointed out as being nonsensical. If it was about the message and not supremacy, then Kemi Badenoch would be the face of conservatism that is promoted. But it isn't. It's Nigel Farage. Make that make sense if it isn't about supremacy. But we do what we always do. We look for the great hope and then we follow. And we look for people to make things better for us because we don't want to put the work in. Yes, I said that shit. And it was Joe Biden that was pushed. Rather than trying to find our own solution. Suddenly, Kamala Harris comes along and we're supposed to believe that was the great solution. But let's face it, she was a bad choice in a 2-horse race. So it was either Kamala Harris or Press 47. Right? But all she did was follow Mr. Biden while the atrocities was happening in Palestine, in Congo, and all around Africa. You see, there is a ripple effect that nobody's talking about either. It wasn't just about Palestine. It is about taking over the whole of the continent and reprinting it in their image. So what you're talking about is connected. And you wonder why it's no surprise. He was goose-stepping and saluting when Press 47 was inaugurated. That was the signal that the beginning is happening. The erasure of us. And if you think that the highlight of the beginning of this is Kendrick Lamar singing They Don't Like Us, or They're Not Like Us, whatever it's called, you're mistaken. Because it's the action we take off the back of that. See, there we go, following again. It's not the rap stars and the singers and the sports stars that's going to lead us to where we need to be. It is your average people who are connected to the diaspora who have to stand up and say, hell no. So if we're celebrating the they're not like us moment as the beginning, but we're not putting boots on the ground to change anything, then he might as well have been goose-stepping and saluting himself for all the good it will do. So yours of you who are hooping and hollering thinking, that's it, we're out there now. No. There's work to be done off the back of it. If you want to say that was a call to arms, then act upon it and do something. Don't just come in here hooping and hollering and thinking we've won, because the war and the standing up hasn't even started, sir. The new consciousness I've been talking about on here for 5 years. Time to stop following. Time to start leading. Moriarty has spoken, but will speak again.